ago, but this is a really good update.
Yeah.
And so there are several things to do here. Hiking, kayaking, biking, camping, fishing, swimming, playground. It's very cool, especially for families. And we're going to have some video of those different sections throughout that. How can they attach those?
Well, we're going to do chapters in the video, YouTube chapters. So we will kind of do an overview of what we think of the place, and then there'll be chapter references in the descriptions, and you can just jump to the part that you're interested in, because this is going to be a fairly long video, this one. So in order to save time, you just jump to what you want to know about.
That works. I like it. So hiking is kind of cool because in the video you'll see Steamboat Rock. It's huge. It's 800 feet high and it covers 600 acres. So lots of people go and take the trails up there. In the brochure they say they're moderate trails. That all depends on your hiking ability. Some of us don't necessarily call them moderate. So, but kids can do it, they said. So, but kids could outdo me, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So it's a 6-mile round trip to the top. If you take the middle trail, it cuts off a half a mile because it's 6 miles round trip, like I said. So, bring your water, because in the summer this gets blistering hot. It's really cold right now, middle of April. Early 30s at night. It's great. Camping. I love it. So moving on to kayaking, which is like one of my favorites, kayaking, fishing. The kayaking here is choice. This is so fun. You've got a great big lake, but in this lake you've got granite rock outcroppings, you have little islands, you've got peninsulas, you have a lot of wildlife, especially birds. So when you're kayaking around, you see them nesting on the, up high on the walls of the cliffs, and I love that part. And then of course there's fishing, so you can, fish while you're kayaking if that's something that you do, like I do. But the kayaking has several places to put in. There's some sandy beaches that you can just stop, and some of them closer within the park have picnic tables, so you can stop and have lunch. They also have a nice boat launch here at the main camp, and then there's one at Northrop Point and Crupps Bay, which are part of the park, but they're not in the main section of the park, which is also nice because one of these places, Crupps Bay, is for tents. So kayaking and tents go together real well, and fishing.
Lots of hookups. Steamboat Rock has lots of hookups if you're needing full hookups. There's plenty of that. Yeah.
The sites are really nice in the camping area. They're all so nice and level. They're paved. And the biking trails are all paved. Biking is a big deal here. So this is a great place for kids and some of us older people who love to get on the bike and go. So you can go all through from loop to loop on older. Okay. We're trying to act like we're not older. Hopefully that sticks with us for a long time. So basically the biking is really nice, and most everybody brings a bike, because these trails, the paved ones, lead from one set of one little loop campground to the next loop campground, and they also go all the way to the snack bar. Yes, there's one of those, and a playground, and there's a swimming hole that are all in the same kind of vicinity.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Those aren't open yet because it's freezing. I don't know what the water temperature is, but it's cold. Our kayaking trip got a little windy and splashed a lot of water, and it was pretty chilly. So that's about it for what we found here. The one thing I haven't mentioned is fishing. I see fishing boats everywhere. I see people at the fish cleaning stations everywhere, which there is one of those in each loop, which is very cool. I forgot to mention that there are showers and bathrooms in every loop as well. So nice camping site. Some of this camp was put in 2 years ago
I think
or last year?
well, 2 years ago we were up at Spring Canyon. I think that's when they were putting it in. And we should mention that, and you'll see this if you go to the website to reserve, that they have different loops, and within those loops they have circles, and within the circles are campgrounds. But there's about 200 camping spots. They are laid out nicely. If you have to back into them, don't be afraid to get a back in spot, because they angle off the main loop just nice, where it's just a straight back in off of the loop. There's no sharp angles at all.
Yeah, I didn't even have to help him.
And that's
This
a miracle
time.
in itself, folks.
No fighting.
But
straight backups are really good. No fighting.
But that part is easy. Don't be afraid of any back-end sites, because they've laid out the campground really nice, and they're laid out at an angle where you're not looking straight in your neighbor's window. There's a sense of space and privacy throughout the entire campground.
And we have a big window on the other side, and the way it's angled, it doesn't necessarily get the neighbor. It gets a lot of the lake, which is behind us. You can't see, but we'll show you in the video. It's really nice. Back to fishing. There are a lot of fish in this lake. I started researching because I talked to one fisherman, and he said, well, I'm just catching rainbow trout right now, but there's also bass and there's walleye in this lake. Well, it's too cold for the bass yet, so there's smallmouth bass when it's warmer. There's, of course, the rainbow trout and the walleye, but there's lake whitefish, there's bluegill. Not so excited about bluegill, but if they're big enough, I don't care. And they may also have kokanee. I'm thinking, you should probably be able to catch kokanee in the deep part of the lake because it's freezing. That would be nice. And when it's warmer, you'll have yellow perch, and there's black crappie, and there's also some channel catfish, probably if you're closer to an outlet or river kind of thing. But anyway, that's the fishing report. I didn't catch any, but
let me add one more thing about the camp sites themselves. They're all pretty level, and they're very nicely done. Our entire overall length with our truck attached to the trailer is about 50 feet, and we very easily fit into our campsite. I didn't see many that weren't just as long as what we have, as where we're at now. We're in site 48. If you're coming, don't reserve that one, because we're going to want it when we come back. So avoid that one. But other than that, go for it.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Have fun camping.
Yeah. Enjoy yourselves. Blessings to all.
Bye.